welcome back to our channel on this beautiful day. We are so glad you could join us for another deep dive into the lives of our favorite Genoa City residents. Today, we have a lot to unpack, and it is heavy. You know, I was just sitting here reflecting on how incredibly cruel fate can be. How the universe just seems to wait for the absolute worst possible moment to pull the rug out from under you. It is almost as if the writers of life, or in this specific case, the dramatic world of Genoa City, thrive on that exact second of breathless hope, just to crush it into a million tiny pieces. We have all been watching Lily Winters lately, haven't we? We have seen the sheer terror in her eyes, the way she has been holding her breath, praying for a miracle for her father, Malcolm, and then Kane Ashby steps up. He is the match. He is the hero. It felt like we could finally exhale, but no, that weekly promo just dropped an absolute bomb on us, and I honestly have not stopped thinking about the sheer injustice of it all. Kane is in handcuffs, right when he is supposed to be saving a life. It makes my heart ache for Lily. It really does. Let us just pause for a moment and really think about Lily's emotional state right now. This is a woman who has been through the absolute ringer over the past few years. She lost Neil, which was a devastating blow that fractured the entire Winters family. A profound wound that has not fully healed and probably never will. And now she is staring down the dark barrel of losing Malcolm to aplastic anemia. The desperation she must be feeling, it is suffocating. You can see it in every interaction she has, the underlying panic in her voice. When Kane volunteered to get tested, and then when the results came back as a perfect match, it was like a lifeline was thrown to a drowning woman. I felt so much relief for her. But seeing that promo, seeing the police walk in to make an arrest, it is not just a plot twist, it is a visceral gut punch. I cannot even begin to imagine the sheer panic coursing through her veins in that exact moment when the reality sets in. The scene in the promo, it is honestly haunting me. The cold, metallic click of those handcuffs closing around Kane's wrists, I keep replaying it in my mind. The stark, jarring contrast between the sterile, hopeful environment of a medical facility and the harsh, unforgiving reality of the criminal justice system crashing through the doors. Kane, looking both shocked and desperately trying to hold it together. And Lily, oh, Lily, her face, it is a mask of pure, unadulterated horror. She is insisting, begging the officers, screaming that this cannot be happening right now, not today. Not when her father's life is literally taking away on a biological clock that waits for no one, let alone the Genoa City Police Department or a district attorney's investigation. It is so raw, you can feel the air being sucked right out of the room as the officers read him his rights, completely indifferent to the medical emergency playing out right in front of them. And Kane, you really have to give him some credit here, even with his incredibly messy past. I mean, my feelings on Kane are always a bit mixed, given everything he has put Lily through over the years. The lies, the secrets, the betrayals. But in this terrifying moment, his only thought is her. He is standing there, physically restrained, his freedom stripped away, and he is looking into her terrified eyes, trying to be the anchor she so desperately needs. Amanda Sinclair will bail me out, he promises her. He is practically begging her to believe him, swearing that he will still make it to New York for the surgery. He is trying to project this aura of absolute certainty, but how can he? How can anyone promise anything when the legal system sinks its claws into you? I just wonder, does he really believe it? Or is he just trying to keep Lily from completely shattering into pieces right there on the hospital floor? The stakes, they could not possibly be any higher. We are talking about Malcolm Winters, a legacy character, a man who brings so much light, history, and love to this canvas. His body is failing him. Aplastic anemia is not something you can just put on hold because of a legal snag or a corporate dispute. The bone marrow transplant scheduled in New York is his only shot at survival. Every single minute that Kane is sitting in a cold holding cell, being processed, waiting for Amanda Sinclair to work her legal magic. Is a precious minute Malcolm might not have. It is agonizing to think about. I feel this tight knot in my stomach just contemplating the timeline. What if the bail hearing is delayed by a day? What if the judge considers him a flight risk because he is literally trying to leave the state to go to New York? The bureaucratic red tape could literally become a death sentence for Malcolm. And this brings me to the absolute, infuriating injustice of why Kane is being arrested in the first place. It all traces back to the Newmans, doesn't it always? I find myself getting so incredibly angry on Lily's behalf. Because this is not even Kane's mastermind criminal plot. This is the toxic fallout of Victor Newman's relentless, scorched earth war to reclaim his empire. The DA is investigating the corporate crimes, the illegal takeover of the company. But we all know the real truth. We all know what actually happened behind closed doors. Kane was actually willing to hand the company back to Victor. He was ready to walk away and do the right thing to wash his hands of the whole mess. But then Phyllis Summers intervened in the most devious way possible. Phyllis, sometimes I love her fire and her tenacity, but right now I am just seething at her actions. I keep thinking about how she literally drugged Kane. She rendered him unconscious, completely incapacitated him, and then orchestrated the hostile takeover of Chancellor and Newman Enterprises using his name, his signature, and his access. She used him as a pawn, a convenient scapegoat, a human shield for her own insatiable ambition and her vendetta against Victor. And now, because Victor is using his terrifying new AI program to fabricate and uncover evidence to destroy Phyllis, Kane is getting caught in the crossfire. It is sick, really. It is a sick corporate game played by billionaires who think they are untouchable, and the collateral damage is a dying man lying in a hospital bed. I can clearly see Lily putting all these pieces together in her mind. The initial panic in her eyes is going to morph into something else very, very quickly. I think we are about to see a level of fury from Lily Winters that we have never witnessed before. She is going to realize that her father is dying because Victor Newman could not wait a few more days to execute his grand revenge on Phyllis. She is going to realize that the Newmans, with all their immense power and influence, push the DA to make these arrests right now, completely disregarding the human cost. I would not be surprised if she marches right up to the Newman ranch, bypasses the security, and unleashes absolute hell on Victor, and honestly, I would cheer her on. Someone needs to tell that family that their corporate wars have real, bloody, irreversible consequences. And let us not forget about Devin in all of this chaos. This is where my heart just breaks even more, because this family should be united right now, but Devin has been so blinded by his hatred and deep suspicion of Kane. He was already questioning Kane's motives, cruelly accusing him of using this life-saving donation just to manipulate his way back into Lily's good graces when Devin hears about this arrest. Oh, it is going to be awful. I can just picture the smug, vindicated look on his face. He is going to say, "I told you so." He is going to use this arrest to prove his point that Kane is a criminal, entirely missing the crucial context that Kane is a victim of Phyllis's drugging and Victor's vengeance. Devin's reaction is going to fracture his relationship with Lily even further, right at the exact moment when she needs her brother the most. It is just so incredibly tragic when you look at the big picture. Kane finally had a chance at real redemption. Think about it. After all the lies, the cheating, the fake deaths, the corporate espionage, saving Malcolm's life was his path to grace. It was his way of showing Lily, and perhaps more importantly, showing himself that he could be a good man. That he could give back to the family he took so much from over the years. And right at the finish line, as he is literally preparing his body to give life to another man, the historical sins of Genoa City's elite drag him down into the mud. You can see the desperation in his eyes in that promo. He wants to be the hero so badly, and he is being treated like a villain for a crime he was drugged into committing. It is profoundly unfair and deeply sad. I keep thinking about Amanda Sinclair, too. She is a brilliant lawyer. Yes, one of the best in the city. But she is going up against the full weight of the district attorney's office, led by Christine Blair Romalotti, and potentially the fabricated AI evidence that Victor Newman has injected into the system. Christine is not known for being lenient, especially when she thinks she has a slam-dunk corporate corruption case involving the Newmans and Phyllis. Amanda is going to have to perform a legal miracle to get Kane out on bail and cleared for interstate travel to New York in a matter of mere hours. The suspense is just. It is killing me. I find myself mentally pleading with the screen, hoping Amanda can find a loophole or prove the drugging or just convince a judge of the massive humanitarian crisis at hand. The emotional toll this is taking on Lily is what I keep coming back to time and time again. She is caught in the middle of a war she did not start and wants no part of. She just wants her dad to live. That is it. It is such a simple, pure, universal desire. And it is being thwarted by greed, revenge, and corporate maneuvering. I think about her sitting in that sterile hospital waiting room, or pacing her living room floor, staring blankly at her phone, waiting for a call from Amanda or Kane. The isolation she must feel is profound. Devin is alienated in his own business. Nate is trying to remain neutral while managing the medical side. And the man who holds the literal biological cure for her father is sitting behind iron bars. It is a masterclass in tragic storytelling, but it physically hurts to watch her go through this. And what if? What if he does not make it in time? I can hardly bear to entertain the thought, but it is hovering there like a dart, suffocating cloud over the entire storyline. What if the legal system moves too slowly? What if Victor's evidence is too damning and bail is denied pending further investigation? If Malcolm dies because Kane was sitting in a jail cell for a crime Phyllis committed, the fallout will be apocalyptic. Lily will never forgive the Newmans. She will never forgive Phyllis. And she might never forgive Devin for his lack of support and his cruel vindication. The entire emotional landscape of Genoa City would shift permanently. It is a terrifying prospect, and it makes every single second of this upcoming storyline feel incredibly heavy and fraught with life or death peril. So, as we brace ourselves for these upcoming episodes, I find myself taking a deep, shaky breath. We are in for an emotional roller coaster that is going to test every single character involved. I am praying for a miracle for Malcolm. I am rooting for Amanda Sinclair to tear that courtroom apart with the truth. And I am standing firmly with Lily Winters in her absolute, justified fury. The Newmans and Phyllis Summers have played their selfish, destructive games for far too long, and it is high time they face the reality of the innocent lives they destroy in the process. We will just have to wait and see if love and life can triumph over corporate greed and legal red tape. But right now, my heart is just heavy with worrying, and I cannot stop thinking about the unfairness of it all. Let us hope the truth comes to light before it is too late.